Yesterday I bought two apples, and not these two, but a different kind of apples. These apples. Those are iPad minis, but they look alike, but they're not the same. And there's no difference in color, but there's a difference in model. And it's hard to tell on the outside, but if I turn them over, you can see there's a difference with the box. This one is quite a lot smaller than this one. And let's read on the back, shall we? This says Apple Mini, 16 gigabytes of memory. And this one has 128 gigabytes of memory and says Space Gray. So this is the later model. This is the iPad Mini with Retina display, and this is the iPad Mini of last year. And the reason I bought two is that this little fellow cost me 259 euros. So that's quite a bargain, I think. And I needed an iPad with lots of storage, so I went for the 128 gigabyte version of the iPad Retina. And I chose for a mini because it's more portable and it does almost everything the iPad Air does. So that's why. And in this little video I will be looking at them both and comparing them, what the difference is. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you. This is a comparison video of the iPad Mini and the iPad Mini Retina. Can you guess which one is which? Well, if you look at them from this angle, you can see that this iPad is more gray at the screen than this one. This one is more black, and that's not because of the lighting, but this one is more gray with the screen than that one. Both devices have a 7.9 inch display, and both devices are 200 millimeters in height, 134.7 millimeters in width, and 7.5 millimeters for the iPad Retina and 7.2 for the iPad Mini. So which one is which? Well, let me put them close together. Maybe you can tell now. The right one is a little bit thicker than the left one. So the right one is the iPad Mini Retina and the left one is the older model iPad Mini. Well, let's start off with the iPad Mini. The iPad Mini has a display of 1024 by 768 resolution and 163 pixels per inch. It has a weight of 308 grams, and this is the Wi-Fi only model with 16 gigabytes of RAM. It has an A5 chip, and both devices have the same camera system. On the back there's an iSight camera of 5 megapixels, and on the front, there it is, it has a FaceTime camera of 1.2 megapixels. Let's put it in the right orientation. So the iPad Mini Retina is capable of video zooming in trifold, and that's not the case with the iPad Mini. Well, let's turn this device on. Well, the iPad Mini Retina has a resolution of 2048 by 1536, and it has a pixel per inch of 326, so that's much higher than this device. Both devices are capable of Wi-Fi A, B, G and N, and they are capable of dual channel 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz for faster connections, and both have Bluetooth 4.0. Well, the weight of both devices differs because the iPad mini has a weight of 308 grams and the iPad mini Retina has a weight of 331 grams. So it's a little bit heavier. Maybe I can show you the difference in resolution. Let's first start off with the iPad mini. And now the iPad Retina. On the iPad Retina you can't see the pixels, whereas on the iPad mini you can. But there's a difference also in pricing, because the iPad mini is $100 cheaper than the iPad mini Retina. This device is the 128 gigabytes model, so I needed lots of storage, so I chose this model. And this model is of my wife, and she chose the 16 gigabyte model and the older model because she needed it for browsing and to play an occasional game. So now comes the question, which device should I get? Well, if you're not a heavy user and you use it only for simple games and browsing and maybe email, then the iPad mini is the best choice because it's $100 cheaper, and although it doesn't have a Retina display, it's still good to use because it's even smaller than this device. It is 0.2 millimeters less high and it's lighter, so much still easier to take with you. So this device I bought for 259 euros, so that's quite a bargain for such a pretty device. Well, and then we have the iPad mini Retina. Why should you get this one? Because this is the fastest device on the market right now, besides the iPad Air. But the iPad Air is bigger. I must say my old iPad 4 had better sound than this little iPad. My old iPad 4 was louder and had more of a bass in it, if you can speak of a bass with such a small device. But the lower tones were better when the sound was played through the speaker. So if you're really into sound, maybe this device is not the best option for you. But the portability of this device is great. It's small, it's light, you can take it with you on the road, it's very easy to use. And at first I thought this screen was too small for me, because I was used to a 9.7 inch screen from the iPad 4, but this screen is, well, very nice, it's very sharp, and you get used to working with a 7.9 inch screen instead of a 9.7 inch screen. So for portability and for a better price, because this device is much cheaper than the iPad Air, so that's a real difference. So because of the portability and the form factor, and because this device does almost everything the iPad Air does, the clock speed is a little bit slower than the iPad Air on this device, but that's not a big problem, as you can see, because all the games start almost the same, even with the iPad mini. Well, which one you choose is entirely up to you, but if you're on a budget and you only need a browser or to mail or to play simple games, this one is for you. If you need to have the best screen around and a future-proof device, which does it all, then take this one. Alright, thank you for watching and until next time.